Hey Tool Nuts, I'm Doug with toolnut.com. Today in this video we're going to be going over the new Milwaukee M12 2-inch brushless planer. All right, so new to the line, Milwaukee has the largest M12 or 12 volt line of tools available on the market. So this is another great addition. A lot of people have been asking for it and it has finally arrived. So let's go through first here, like I always generally start with. How is this being sold by Milwaukee and by the Tool Nut? So right now, Milwaukee is offering this tool as a bare tool, meaning you get the tool, you don't get a battery, you don't get a charger, so you'd have to be part of the Milwaukee M12 line and have batteries and chargers already. But we are offering on toolnut.com a package option where we packaged it with a battery and with a charger. So you can check out both those options at toolnut.com. With the planer out of box though, you're going to get the planer. You're going to get one of these dust chutes here, which we'll go over. And then you're getting an adapter for extractors, vacuum, dust collector, whatever you wish to call it. So we'll show you how this goes on here. You'd put that on first, and then this locks on like that. With this adapter, it's going to fit a wide variety of hoses on the market. You have one option here is inside, another hose size is outside, and then you have also inside and outside of that. So it will fit the majority of hoses available on the market. You're going to get the best dust collection with this, obviously using it with a dust collector just the way I was there. But a lot of people on the job site, they're not going to use it, possibly, just like you always have. You're used to it. The job site's messy. You're not worried about dust control as long as you're wearing a mask and eye protection. Always make sure you're doing so. You'll be good. You'll just have to sweep up some of the dust when you're done. Milwaukee does suggest when you're not using that, you're going to leave this on here for that to direct the dust away from you. This is dual side. You can see it's very easy here to change it. Generally, it's very easy. There you go. That's how to get the angle right. So on or off both sides, and then you're going to flip this switch here, and that's going to direct the dust out in either direction. So you can see there, remove that. Now, when we posted the video from Milwaukee before we're making our own here, a lot of people were like, why doesn't it come with a dust bag? Is there a dust bag option? So we did test once we got our sample. There is a dust bag for the M18 planer that's available. We did try it. It doesn't fit on this. So you're gonna have to put on this. And as you can see, it's starting to get longer. The bag itself is about this wide. So once you get the bag on there, you're out to here. Yes, maybe there's other brands or other options that are available that you can get down, to where it's not going to be as big of a footprint when it comes to that. You asked, so we double checked it. Now, Milwaukee did state though, when you're not using a dust collector, you want to keep this off there. There's a big separate card that came in the box that you want to remove that if you're not going to be using dust collection and just keep this port on there. And what we found when we used the dust bag, that it did get backed up between having this there and then the bag. It did get a little bit backed up on it. So that's probably another reason why. Dust collection's the best, or just use it without. But if you want it, the option, we do sell the bag for the M18 planer on the website. You can check it out at toolnut.com. So let's go over some more of the features here as far as this goes. Again, you have dual side here as far as the chip chute goes and extraction. You're just going to flip this switch here. You got a nice cast base on it, 2-inch wide. You can see there's a groove here with the center line. Your corners. Get on your wood there. Again, it's a V notched here in the front there. All right. Your gauge here. Very easy adjustment. So you have 0 to 5/64 removal per pass. You can see that's just moving the front plates just like a joiner. You have your in feed and out feed table. Out feed is staying. The in feed is what's moving. There, on that. Can rabbet with this. This does go down on that. You get slight rabbeting removal there on the inside corners. Now, blade change. Let me show that because I looked in the manual to see what they recommended. I've done it a certain way. You also have this onboard here. One thing I didn't mention in the beginning, when you get the tool, you're actually getting 4 tungsten carbide blades, and these are reversible. So you have 2 here in your onboard storage, and then there's already 2 installed on the machine. Again, batteries have been removed here, all right, while I'm showing this. So you have the 2 here, and then your little wrench for your blade change is here. So everything's on board. Want to make sure you always have extra blades. You hit a nail or a screw, sometimes you're not working in regular wood, a staple, it might chip or break these blades. So on the head here, easy access to it. See there's some Allen screws here. The tool that they give you is what you're going to loosen those with. Now, in the manual, it has you loosen these a good amount, and then they're pulling the blade out this way. But as you can see on these blades are grooved here, all right? On this, you can see the piece that's holding it in, it fits into that groove and holds the blade in place. So what I've always done with the brands I've used over the years, and I tested it on this, I already did this, you slightly loosen this until you can pull the blade out from the side. I find it's much easier to do it that way. The way Milwaukee had you doing it in the manual is they have you loosen these more so you can get past that step and pull the blade out this way, and then they're kind of having you push it back in that way. I think it's a lot simpler to do it this way. However you want to do it, if you've done it a different way over the years, it's pretty much the same as all other manufacturers that use a similar blade for blade change. So slightly loosen those, put it back in, make sure you're centered here because you got to watch. It gets close to the edge here, so you want to make sure you're not hitting anything there. When it comes to that, hit the housing before you turn it on. It's going to be the same thing here to make sure you're clearing it down there. Very important to have it centered. So if you turn it on, it's out too far one way, you're going to have a surprise. It's going to hit that, it's going to break. These are brittle. It's tungsten carbide. You know, they keep the edge longer than a standard steel blade. That's why a lot of manufacturers are using them now. They are reversible though, so when you get down to where this is not sharp, and be careful that you don't cut yourself because they're super sharp, just like a new circular saw blade or router bit. When you're changing these, that you're not cutting yourself. If you find that it's not removing the wood quickly, it's hard to push the tool, you're going to want to change the blades. Flip them around first. All right, these are reversible, so you have one side there, just going to flip it and put it in the opposite direction. Now, if they become chipped, you can do that also. Sometimes these will crack. You hit a nail or a screw, or even sometimes a knot on some of the hardwoods, you're going to get chippage or breakage to the blade. It happens, all right? Just change the blade. With that said, though, when you're generally changing out one blade, you want to change out both blades so they're wearing evenly. That's a huge thing for a lot of people. You know, sometimes you might change it. Well, I just changed the blade. Did you change both? That's why you're maybe going to get to where it's not going to push through and cut evenly. You'll get some tear out on your wood. So that's as far as blade change goes. Very easy. It's two-headed here, spit around, and you can see it's going to be the same thing on both. Again, make sure you center the blade before you turn it on. All right, so that's your blade change. Very easy. You have a kickstand. Most other brands have these also. When you're putting it down, if it's still spinning, you know, so you're not cutting into it, but it's also not sitting. If the blade is sitting proud, you're not sitting on your blade when you're not using it. So you can see very simply, push it down, push it to the side, it locks in. To open it, push, and it just pops. It's spring loaded. Push it down, push it in to lock it when you're not using it. All right, so very easy there. We already went over the storage here tray. Again, you're getting 4 of these blades when you buy the unit. Again, don't forget to put your little wrench there, holds it in place so you're not losing that, just in case you do need to change the blades. Stores in there. Safety trigger here. So you gotta depress this before you can pull the trigger to operate the tool. This will work on any of the M12 batteries. You can see I have 2 here. They have the flat bottom, as I call it, and they have a standard, you know, the way they originally started coming. Then they added these to the line years later. So on certain tools, you could stand them up, unlike the drills and whatnot. These are all M12. It's going to be the same. It's just going to be runtime. These are different amp hours. So you'll just get an extended runtime on that. Again, all the specs, details, RPM, stuff I'm not covering here is available at toolnut.com. This is really just showing how to do different things with the tool and kind of show it in use. All right, so this also has the fuel gauge, just like most of the other tools here. I'll keep my fingers out of the way here. Pull this down to operate it. You can see there, get the fuel gauge. It's going to illuminate there, show you how much juice is left in your battery when it comes to that. It is just really nice. Right. It is a brushless motor. Brushless motors will give you up to 40 to 50% longer runtime than a brush motor. This is just a standard brushless motor. It's not the fuel. A lot of people have been asking, are they coming out with the fuel model? There are no plans to come out with the fuel model. They felt with the runtime and how it interchanges and works with these batteries, there's no fuel model that is needed when it comes to that. All right. So I believe we've covered everything on that. So for this and any other Milwaukee products, check them out now at toolnut.com.